started. All right, can you hear me? Yeah. I'm sure it sounds working here. All right. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, guys. Welcome back. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today I have a weird dream story to tell you. Now you can take it where you want it. Here's the question: can you get drunk in your dream and then wake up with a real hangover? That is what happened. I had like 3 sips of scotch in the dream, and the next thing, and I woke up in real life with a hangover. How you doing? I'm still reeling from it. Because I don't understand how that could happen. How can you actually get drunk in your dream and then end up waking in real life with a hangover? Basically, what happened in the dream is that a couple friends invited me to a nice, restaurant, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you have some scotch?" I'm like, "Scotch?" So to give me this big glass of scotch, it's like 1 pint bottle. It's like, I don't think I could drink all that. I wasn't gonna try because first of all, I didn't quite like the taste of it. It was like, okay, I had 3 sips of it. It was like the stuff was really, really strong. I was like, whoa! And this is in a dream now, not in real life. Woke up in real life, and all of a sudden, I almost threw up. I almost like I had a hangover, like instantly. I was like, how in the hell can you get a hangover from a dream? I mean, I stumbled into the bathroom. I'm like, in real life, I'm like, trying to get ready for the show. I was like, that don't make any sense. And Lim says, shit, let you explain it. So basically, I think what happened was this: Michelle actually went through a dimensional portal and actually traveled to another place where she really did get drunk, and then she came back into her bed and she basically was drunk. Yeah, because I passed out in the dream too. First, you died. You fell off a cliff. Then somebody resurrected you. And then 2 strong, burly guys put you over in a dive-in. And, where they resurrected you so you could sleep it off. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I'm a blood elf. That's what my character is. I slept with these ears last night. I swear these things are really weird antenna because they pick up. Oh, they also pick up real sounds too that I kind of may not have normally heard before. I can hear like the refrigerator better when it's on. I can hear the other things when it's running. And then it's always the constant earth roar. I always hear it. I heard that before. Like a big motor that makes the earth spin. I always hear that. But in the ears, it picks it up even more pronounced. I try with every sensitive apparatus to pick up the record the sound. I never can record it, but I can hear it. And I can feel it, but I can't record it. For some reason, I can't even. I mean, you can hear the refrigerator, but you can't hear the other subsonics. Are they? These are latex. Yeah. Well, these are like the $13 ears, the $33, $35 ears. Sometimes I sleep with these on. Like I slept with these on last night. They yeah, these are latex. I don't think I have it. I don't believe I'm sensitive to latex. Thank God. Would hate to find out what it would be to have an allergy to latex. I have a few masks and keep them in the fridge. Keeps them fresh and they don't dry out. Yeah. Well, my ears are not dried out. As I said, these are like 15-hour ears. I tried to find the silicone ears. I couldn't find any silicone ears. So that was just, like I said, that was just weird. I mean, does that mean that if I went into a nice restaurant and I had a nice big gut busting Italian meal, that I would wake up with really feeling full, like I really ate for real? I've done that before. Not a long time though. Not in a long time. No, but wow. So we're down to 746 subs right now. 745. 745. We were up to 749. So 4 subs disappeared. Don't know why. I don't understand the reason behind why. Yeah, I lucid dream. Yeah, I do that. Obviously, to wake up with a hangover, I must be. Me and Lumi have gone to Venice. We've eaten in cafes and restaurants in Venice and in Florence. We've done things like that. We saw the big wheel carousel and Ferris wheel in London. They call the Eye. Up front, close, and personal. That's kind of cool because the thing is always constantly turning. The Ferris wheel is designed such a way that actually you don't have to start and stop the wheel. It just goes in constant rotation. So you can actually just go and get on and get off. Kind of like in the sense it's like you can get on and off an escalator. Which is interesting because did you know the first escalator was an amusement park in Coney Island? It's true. It didn't start showing up in the department stores until like Macy's, RH Macy's had put the first one in, the first escalator. In the Herald Square store, there are still some of the original wooden escalators are still there, by the way. I do. That's a great LOLO. Yes, if you wake up with a hangover and haven't drank, that's a real lucid dream. I personally think there's more to dreams than just you mind the click cancel. Oh yeah, definitely. And these ears, for some reason, really act like antennae more than anything because they pick up things both on the physical and the metaphysical level. I know some would say but they're just pieces of rubber. Isn't rubber an insulator? For electrical signals, it's an insulator. But these ears, if I tap the tip of my ear through transductance, I hear it all the way at the bottom of my ear canal. If I tap, let me show you what I'm talking about. If I tap the top of the ear here, I hear it all the way in my ear down here. So even the slightest vibration, I hear it as loud, as clear as day. And that's in the auditorial range. What about the range we can't hear? I mean, so what I was thinking about buying was what they call a contact microphone, and attach it to the bottom of the ear here, because I never can get this lower part to stay glued good here. So I was thinking about putting a small contact microphone here. I think Korg has one that's not too expensive, like $15. It's like about 10 pounds. Clip it down here, connect it into my mixer, and see what kind of sounds it is picking up from the ear itself. And if it has precision enough to handle more than the auditorial range, maybe see if I can use Audacity to record a sample and then bring it down into the range of hearing and see what it's picking up. Yeah. But for some reason, these ears here are almost like a tuned antenna. And they pick up things that, like you said, the average human ear can't get. So I'm the kind of person, because it's my nature as an Aquarius, and I'm into engineering, is what makes this work. Oh, by the way, that wasn't the only thing that happened in the dream, by the way. Okay, the other thing that happened in the dream was, okay, at first, after I was visibly very drunk in the dream, I fell off a cliff, as I said. I died. I was resurrected by a priest. I don't know if he was a holy or disciplined priest, but he certainly was not a shout-out priest. And then and it was a guy, he asked another guy to help carry me and put me onto a dive-in so I can sleep it off, because obviously I couldn't do crap. I couldn't even walk. My knee kept buckling in the dream. I couldn't even stand on my bad knee, which doesn't surprise me. Just standing in real life on my bad knee is a challenge. So here I am, curled up in this fetal position on this. I have a chance to somehow kind of jumped out of my body in that dream. So I was actually looking at it from above. And this is how I'm sleeping now. I'm seeing myself from above, curled up on this dive-in, with 2 ears are hanging off the back. They were big. They were about the size of ears I got now. And they, maybe a little bit bigger than my mud shell. And then I woke up in the real world, and like I said, all of a sudden I was like ready to throw up. I was like, whoa. Oh, that was much. I mean, I actually got puke in my throat. I went, what the hell? Yes, please do help. It will help a lot, because, guys, we lost 4 subs. I don't know if the 4 subs left because they really found this channel was not what they were looking for, which is possible. But it's just really weird. Oh, by the way, one thing also. A lot of creative people have rebuilt Silvermoon in Unreal Engine 4, and Sims 4. And the result, and this is within the year from the past year. And one of the things that they confirmed is the wall color outside of the Silvermoon is not tan. They're white. For some reason, Silvermoon and Blizzard's game, the walls are tan-ish. And then my computer software gets to the walls and it turns them red. I'm wondering if there's something in my profile in the computer that is messed up somewhere where it's turning tan to red. Alexa says, "Well, I would suggest that people build a channel need something, then they should say, then you know what people want or don't want." Same thing with the likes versus dislikes. How are we supposed to know what you like or dislike? Especially if a show is an hour long, 2 hours long. In a 2-hour show, for example, you can have a whole variety of things coming up. And to give a total dislike on a show, for example, it doesn't tell the content creator what exactly it is you don't like. I know sometimes the likes and dislikes are used kind of almost like a I'm trying to think of the right word. Almost like a political game where you're trying to make the person look bad. What the problem is for the content creator, we don't have ESP. At least I don't think I do. And so I can't tell what the person likes or dislikes on the channel. Because of the nature of the channel, we tend to have two different style shows. We have the morning show, which you're on now, which is basically is kind of more of let's wake up, smoke a fag, have a coffee, just kind of like sitting in the local diner or local restaurant with a friend. That's this show. Then we have the night show at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's more formal. It's more ritualized. It has a structure to it. And that's fine. I know one person asked if they could be on my night panel, and I said, that's fine. I said, did you send me a friend request on Discord? Because you can't just add people without a friend request, because that's the way the software works. So if you want to join me on the panel, you have to send me a friend request. How you doing on the wire? This morning's show is definitely a help for us in the European countries. Yes, that's why I do one. Of course, for Out on the Wire, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning for him. He's kind of like waking up right now. So, and the people on the West Coast, they're really still in bed right now. It's 7 in the morning. Or more precisely, it's 7:14 in the morning. So, yes, the reason why we do two different shows is because, look, I mean, when I first wake up, just like everybody else, the last thing I want to do is sit there and get everything all fancy and multiple microphones going and multiple camera shots and on-screen chats, and especially after a morning like this morning when I basically woke up with a friggin' hangover. I'm not going to be doing that. I mean, the guy was only a small hangover, but still, not exactly expected. Right, it's 3:14 in the afternoon. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. you're dealing with 24 time zones in this world, and you trying to find a way to reach out more to the European audience and the American audience. You guys are a small portion of my audience, but you're still part of my audience. And being I'm also the Snow Queen, I'm also of the United Kingdom as well. I actually got to look at the Met Office weather forecast for today, but it's cooling down here too. So we already know that. That's a given. You guys originally were like about 5 to 10 degrees Celsius for a couple weeks ago. I'm sure that by now Scotland's got snow in the Highlands. I wouldn't be surprised. But if you listen to some of the people talk about me and what I do for weather work, let me tell you, I still love what I do as a North American Snow Queen. Okay, I'm a North American Snow Queen with pointed ears. Big deal. Let's see what else we got here. 314. Yeah. So, yeah, lucid dreaming. I've done lucid dreaming before. It's the first time I ever woke up with a hangover, though. So, I mean, that was pretty funny. For out on the wire and others, you missed the story. Just rewind the stream back to the beginning. I explained the story about where I went with a couple friends to a restaurant in a dream. I had some scotch, and the next thing you know, I had a hangover or got drunk, collapsed. Actually, first I fell off a cliff and died. Then I was resurrected. Then I couldn't walk anywhere because I was too blind drunk. Two strong guys. I don't know if they were. I don't think they were blood elves. I think one of them was a regular human. Carried me and put me on a dive-in outside on the sun deck where I could actually sleep it off. And then I slept it off. And then I woke up in real life, and the next thing you know, I had a friggin' hangover. I never had that happen before. About 90% of American people interact with are Americans. That doesn't particularly surprise me because 90% of the people I interact with are Brits. I'm not kidding you. Almost 90% of my channels on my YouTube subscriber list are British. Go figure. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe we're meant to swap places. Maybe you're meant to come here. Maybe I'm meant to go there. I don't know. From BigClive.com to Ashens to Thomas Nagy, he's an electrician, to John Ward, he's another electrician, to Tom Scott, which is a kind of a commentator, researcher, to oh my god, I got so many British channels I watch, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they're cool. Now, how would the United States have been different if we stayed a colony instead of becoming the mess we are now? Would we have been better off? Historical fiction book actually talked about that. Well, first of all, we were already using the British standard plugs, that's for sure. the BS 1363As. Good plugs, really. Good plug and socket combination. They actually are very effective. They got built-in child-resistant safety shutters, which are something American plugs don't have. And it's true that not all kids like to stick things in sockets. There are some kids that will. Well, some of us are. We just human like everyone else, but we're very much more open to others' quirks. Yeah. But then again, I wanted to move to the UK. That's why Mother God and are actually authorized what me and Phaedra Semason did to swap land masses. UK originally was to be was under her control. When the European Union, when the EU activate Article 50 of the European Union, she didn't really want to do the UK anymore, because she does Western Europe, and I wanted to take on UK because I want to eventually move to the UK. So she said, "Make a deal. I'll give you the UK, no strings attached." And I said, "Well, I'll make it a fair trade. I'll give you what I own of Southwest Greenland because I'm probably never going to go to Greenland anyway." So we swapped places. So that's why I'm now the North American Snow Queen of the United States, Canada, England, Scotland, and Wales, and Ireland. Whereas before it was United States, Canada, and Southwest Greenland. So, because one of the requirements is in order to be the weather sorcerer or sorceress, you had to be a resident of one of the countries that you were part of. So, but since I probably never was going to go to Southwest Greenland, I just said, screw it. Yeah. She was happy because now she maintains all of Greenland. I guess she apparently worked out a deal with Tanaya Volskolov of the Eastern European Russian or the sorceress to split Greenland down between the two. So now I can go to the UK and still maintain my title as the North American Snow Queen. But unfortunately, home office isn't so easy to deal with. To get a visa is going to cost me way more money than I can afford. And we're not even talking about COVID-19. That was before. And Article 50 wasn't completed until January of 2020, January 31st of 2020. So it's going to take me a couple more years so I can go to the UK. And then once I get to the UK, somebody said, well, why don't you just go ahead and split your residency between 6 months in the United States and 6 months in the UK? Well, the problem is that I don't have enough money to maintain two flats. I'm not that rich. I mean, to maintain two flats, one here, one there. It's figuring the United States, I got to pay this current landlord his $700 a month, and then whatever the price is in the UK for the flat over there, even if it's in one of the smaller villages, or heaven forbid, one of the bigger cities. Can't go to London. London is ridiculous. I mean, price wise. Yeah, it's all about wealth. Exactly. No, originally Scottish. Stacy invited me to go to Scotland, to Edinburgh, and I went, yeah, it'd be interesting. She didn't live right exactly in Edinburgh. She lives outside in the suburbs. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I haven't talked in a long time for almost a year, over a year, and I don't think she still wants me to go to Scotland. Um, which Scotland kind of reminds me of Ironforge. It's especially the Highlands. You know, the dwarves with their brogue and their the heavy voices. It definitely sounds like I play. I play a dwarven hunter, which is kind of funny because she sounds like just like Scottish Stacy. That's kind of hilarious. Um, well, cities are expensive, and I live in a town of relatively cheap rent. Yeah, right, exactly. But if you don't have a car, um, see, that's the other thing. I don't know if there are driver's license options for people who have bad eyesight in the UK. I mean, people have to be able to get from point A to point B. Now, sure, maybe you could ride a horse or a carriage, or maybe you can take the train or the bus. I know that there's definitely more mass transit in the UK than it is here. The United States is atrociously bad for mass transit. Everybody drives, and so you have to. If you can't drive or you don't have a horse, you're screwed. Okay, plain fact. East Anglia. I've heard of that. I've heard of East Anglia. I'm not sure. It's in the southern part of Britain. Um. So I think you actually would be in the southeast of the UK, right? And I think that's where you are. So I mean, the point is that they're saying when I was looking at the guidelines prior to the completion of the Article 50 exit, there was there's provisions where I can go into the UK for 6 months out of the year. Then I have to come back to the United States for the other 6 months out of the year. But I can't get a work visa. Or maybe I can't. Maybe they changed the rules a bit. Well, first of all, if I'm going to be going to another country, I need to be able to work. Because obviously, if I can't, I don't think the WPA in the UK is going to be sitting there gladly going, that's okay, miss. We'll go ahead and we'll finance you. You just go ahead and come over here and you basically get a flat, and then we'll make sure that your Social Security is transferred over and you're okay. From what I read about the WPA, forget it. um, yeah. I don't think East Anglia is exactly coastal. It's inland a bit more. I don't know where. So this is coffee, by the way, cold coffee, because it's left over from last night. Um, I'm from Connecticut, United States. Yarmouth. No, we don't do phone. Not the morning show. Not the phone calls are the night show. Um, what interests me about the UK is your educational system compared to American high schools. The fact that you got to do your GCSEs and then your A levels, which you do your A levels like when or in your our sophomore years of high school, and then you can go to university right after high school. And as long as you're a UK resident, you don't have to pay for university. That's kind of cool. And the university is you focus on the things that you love. So if you want to study, say for example, architecture, that's what your course teaches you. It doesn't go and give you liberal arts education and other things. You focus right on the architecture. That's one of the reasons why UK people, Brits, are so smart. Is because they study the thing that they love with a passion and they don't stop. Now, it's really kind of neat the way educations work. You know, so yeah, I got one related question though. What happens if you fail your What happens if you fail your A levels? I mean, that would be. I mean, honestly, that would be an insult. And you imagine, American child comes into the UK from the United States, says it would be equivalent to our freshman, goes ahead and tries to take his A levels, flunks them. Then what happens? So they have to go back and take the A levels again, or until they pass. They can't go on to um, the equivalent to the junior and senior year in high school. I mean, because I think some Americans would definitely be thick as a brick. I've seen Your Weakest Link on the BBC One. You guys, or is it BBC One? You guys don't kid around. When their questions are tough, then we watch the American Weakest Link, and it's like the questions have to be made more stupid because they're like American people couldn't even answer half the questions. For example, I mean, you guys get into some really technical stuff, and on the Weakest Link, and I'm here, the same question would be like the like the $1,000 question on Jeopardy because people wouldn't even know how to answer those questions. Yeah, well, you'd have to. Yeah, I mean that's the thing I noticed about the UK people is, especially the people in Britain, they're smart. You can't. I mean, they specialize in that one thing in their life. And for example, when they go to university, and they're dedicated to whatever it is they studied. American college kids, no. I may be able to tell you who won the NCAA championship, they might be able to tell you what brand of alcohol is best for certain type of things, or they can tell you what they did at their frat house or their sorority house. But any of the college stuff that they learned, they're like, it's all mixed mash of liberal and I took a social degree in computer programming as a major, and business is my second major. It was a double major. You want to talk about, of course, I study like a Brit. I go into the books, I plow through them. You can't deny that. But the average teenage or the average college student doesn't do that because they're jumping between courses like, I don't know, kids jump rope. Really. What is A levels? A levels is a standardized test that you have to take to go from equivalent of sophomore in order to upgrade to junior and senior in college, or I'm sorry, high school. So you have to pass the A levels exam in order to graduate from low high school to high school. Let Nightbot do its job. It has a reason it exists. Hockey, or is also Canadian, or is also soccer, as we call it in the United States. A levels is just a high level of your education, but then you can do doctorate exams anything you want, really, however you want a job, doing a job. Yeah. Alexa says A levels is just a higher level of your education. Yep. Well, I said hockey. So when this COVID-19 shit's over, I really still wouldn't want to consider pursuing to get a visa to go to the UK. I need a sponsor, I think. It would help. Because I can't just go into the UK as another homeless person. I would definitely be not very enthusiastic about that. What? You're legally blind, partially deaf, blood elf with basically ears the size of basically telephone poles, and now you basically kind of come here and you want to go sponge off our system and you don't want to seriously have a place to go? You know what we did to the people in Calais, right? Well, you want to go back to Calais and join them? It's lacrosse. Oh. Let's put it this way. I think when it finally ends, I think there'll be a lot less people in the world, a lot more real estate available for rent or for sale as far as sale prices, because there'll be less people to buy into the real estate market. which means that if I go to the UK, let's say I want to buy a house. Let's say right now a house in the UK, just like America, they can be various prices. Let's just use American dollars just to make it easy. Okay, let's say you can get a house for $100,000 now in some smaller shires in the UK. By the time COVID-19 is over, I think you probably can get the same house for maybe $50,000 US. Same thing in the United States in smaller towns. You might be able to get the same house for $50,000. As banks are going to do whatever they can to unload the suckers because they're going to have so many houses and they're not going to be able to really sell them and keep them on the books because the real estate market is just going to plummet like a rock. I'm today years old and found out circumcision isn't a thing in Canada. Why would you want it to be a thing in Canada? Why would anybody want to really do it anyway? Medically, what does it really do for the boy baby? What does it really do? I mean, I'm sure there must have been a historical reason they did it, but what's the point? Yeah, well, MJ, that's where you can, if you're smart, you can take advantage of that, everything going under real fast, because you can actually pick up the pieces and rebuild the society that you're in, because you're going to have access to knowledge and the resources, because everybody's going to want to, like I said, with the real estate market, once the economy takes a nosedive, guess what? You got your wallet out, you got cash in your hand. People will be buying houses for cash. They will have no choice. Banks don't want to get stuck with the liability. I mean, when you haven't sold those houses that the banks still already foreclosed on. Remember the dot-com boom in 2007, 2008? I mean, not the dot-com boom. The real estate bust of 2007 after Lehman Brothers went down. The people were so ill prepared for the recession that started. But those people after the dot-com boom and bust cycle, realized that now when the dot-com bust happened, they could swoop in like a vulture and take the leftover bloody pieces of what was left of the dot-coms and start over, take a risk and make some money. The same thing happened in real estate. So 2007 and the S&L situation, savings and loan, they actually, in the real estate crash, they took advantage of that. They bought the houses cheaper, and now today they're sitting on a nice little asset. The problem is now we got a second real estate crash coming and a correction in the market, and that is going to be where those people may have said, "Oh man, I should have waited till later." Well, how can you tell when later is? You didn't expect COVID-19, So when's later gonna be? The schools are closed here again, and my little one isn't accepting me as a teacher again. Yeah, everything's going down. Yeah, because you're in level 3. You're like in level 3 lockdown. And so as far as, but you guys right now are getting a government or stipend right now to help. We don't have a monthly stipend coming in. You guys are getting £1,000 a month, which, in addition, if you got a job or you get your regular pension, if you're on disability from the WPA. What do you get in the United States? Oh, you're just getting your Social Security check. Or if you're unemployed, you might be getting a small unemployment check. We're not even giving stimulus. I mean, I don't know why the political wrangling is ridiculous. Some people, both the Republicans and the Democrats, want the stimulus. The problem is they can't seem to figure out the final details of what they want. I don't think it helped Donald Trump any either, because Nancy Pelosi said, I really don't want to give him a stimulus because with him put his name on the check. It's political theater. That's what it was. That like screwed everybody over. Yeah, I know. I'm lucky there, but that doesn't mean that everything is not going to stay the same price. Costs are going up. My expenses are going up. Right now, I'm pretty much having to watch my nickels and dimes just to make sure that I've got enough money to cover for the whole month. I've been saving like a fiend, just specifically just to make sure that I have money to pay for things that I need. But either way, the government, our country has done very little because of the political gridlock in Washington, D.C., to get their head out of its collective ass and actually try to get American people the help that they needed. Instead, other countries are spending more than twice their GDP on giving assistance to their people. We're not doing anything. On the federal level, some individual cities, towns, and counties are, but in states. But kids are at home full time now, and people whose jobs are affected don't have enough to feed the kids 3 meals a day. Yeah, how you doing, Deep State? So why is the United States the greatest country in the world doing the least amount to help the people of their own country? But you sure will help all the illegal immigrants that come through the door of Mexico, won't you, Mr. Biden? You'll make sure everybody can walk in with open borders, but you're not going to do anything. And I know he won't, because I already can see who he's going to do. He's not going to really do anything to help the American citizen at all. And Trump kind of didn't either, to be honest. But really, it was because not so much Trump or Biden, but rather it was the Congress and the Senate that didn't do anything. Eesh. I love you all. Thank you. And she says, yes, I get 1,000 a month, 400 in rent. So as long as you don't blast your money out on stuff, you can very well much survive on benefits over here. Yeah, exactly what Stacy told me. I mean, that's your regular monthly check, or is that just because of the special, or is that are you getting that as a regular pension? Because if I scale the number slightly a bit, it comes out to be about the same here. My rent's $800 a month, but my income is $1,316. Yeah, I know. Um, I don't understand how people complain when they aren't working and income is affected. Can complain. I already got my first check, direct deposit to my bank. So I got the first check. And I do check my mail, and I didn't have any other money. USA is no longer what it used to be. I.e., you guys used to love a winner. Now people get jealous of others' success. Michelle said, I just know I'm one of the people whose money is accepted. Effing sucks, yeah. I don't know why I ever got it, but I'm so grateful. Our pensions are a bit differently depending on if you're worked or a full life. Yeah, well, that's true here too. Social Security disability, for example, if you've worked for a certain number of years, at least you can get SSDI. Or if you've never worked a day in your life, you get SSI. Now, I worked for a while, so I got SSDI. And I used to get SSI to supplement because my SSDI didn't have a lot of work credits. Then when my dad put me on as a disabled adult child, and then he died, I got his SSD. And I still got my SSDI. That's why I get 1,316. The average person on Social Security makes a regular retiree makes about $1,000 a month on my father's income level. See, you're talking not at all. I call rolling in the dough on the federal dole at all. Well, it would be a reason to be jealous over a fraudulent election. I would be more pissed over a fraudulent election, not jealous. There's nothing to be jealous about. Jealousy is when you want something that the other person has. Are you saying you want a fraudulent election? You desire a fraudulent election? Or you're not happy with the fraudulent election, you're pissed with the fraudulent election? Rachel, you were the reason they're trying to show compassion through the stimuluses, etc. People with disability aren't affected, in my opinion, except maybe emotionally, like everyone else is. Yeah, you want to place psychotherapy? This says, MJ, I love your picture. Yeah, where's MJ's picture? Oh, okay. I see it. Well, I see the USA is not so patriotic. Call it jealousy or whatever. It's still a huge change in what your ideals are. Or, yeah, this country's so split right now. It's a powder keg, just waiting for someone to drop a match into it. It's scary. You got two sides that are gearing up armaments. They're basically going to go to war. Okay, I don't care what you call them. You can call them the right, you call them the left, you can call them the red, you can call them the blue. You can call them the allies, you can call them the horde. It doesn't matter. But let's put it this way. The one side wants socialism and far left, and this includes BLM and Antifa. The other side wants the American sovereignty and stuff that we have always had, which was the Proud Boys. A couple of days ago in Washington, D.C., the Proud Boys got into a skirmish with Antifa BLM in Washington, D.C. This country is going down the shitter. Well, we need a third party to come in. Maybe the Royal Army or Royal Navy can come in here under the United Nations clean up this place. Because our own troops are not allowed to have our own military on our own soil, if that makes any sense. This country needs to do something to fix the problem. If we don't do something, we're not going to have a country. Maybe if we're smart, maybe we should just go ahead, have another constitutional Congress, let each state do the equivalent of an Article 50, and let each individual state become its own country. Because what's going on is you got states that are really hardcore one way and the states are hardcore the other way. And the United States government is too dysfunctional and too big to handle them all. The real meaning of too big not to fail. That's really what's happening right now. This country is just not managing itself. Right, two government personalities. I think each individual state should do the equivalent of their own Article 50s and just go, you know what, I'm out of here. We're going to go self-govern ourselves. Go screw everybody else. Also, you hate your neighbor just on who they vote for. That's a shame and very damaging. Absolutely. And it's not just hate. It becomes violent hate. In some cases, people have shot each other over it, stabbed each other over it, flattened each other with each other's cars over it, destroyed each other's property over it. It's a powder keg. And COVID-19 only exacerbated it because people are frustrated and angry and they're taking it out on other people because they have no other outlets to take it out on. I mean, for example, we don't even have our sports teams playing. Anyway, I'm not a sports person, but for people that like their football, American football, which is based on rugby, or people who enjoy watching baseball, basketball, hockey, and other sports, there is no sports. So they're sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, watching reruns on TV or YouTube or Hulu or Netflix or whatever. They have nothing else to do with their lives. And that's what makes it worse. Yeah, I know they are. I know. I mean, Trump's might have a different skin on him, but if you look at it, he's still. Now he's been corrupted by politics in Washington. He's no longer a political virgin anymore. He was deflowered the minute he was inaugurated. I have a headache, but I'll try to come back when it gets better, or I'll see y'all tonight. Okay. Absolutely. They did the same thing over here too in some places and shutdowns. Connecticut closed gymnasiums. They're still closed. Gym owners are screwed. They got to pay their rent. They can't pay their rent. Companies are going bankrupt quickly. Yeah, Dave's good. Dave's just take it easy for a few hours. Um, don't don't get too wound up about anything right now. Things will be fine. Just take it easy. Um, but I mean, it's just weird, you know. Over here, you got people, you know, struggling with answers how to do it, what they're supposed to do if the worst case happens. What's the worst case? That's a good question because it depends on who you ask. The worst case, especially, is for me, is a single body anyway. Me and Lemmy are married to each other, but we're share the same flesh, so we'll just say single body here, just to keep it simple. Yeah. Um, what happens when we kick the bucket? Who's going to bury us? No one knows. Can't afford a funeral; that's too expensive. You want to go for a green procedure, green funeral? That's still going to cost you $1,000 for plot, and then you have to get some undertaker per Connecticut rules has to take your body to your burial site that you've chosen, which would probably be for me would be in Newfield, New York, because it's a burial preserve that's green burial, and then so that means I got to pay for I got to pay for a funeral director to take my corpse to Newfield, New York. And they have to understand up front, no embalming. You cannot embalm for the burial preservers made it clear in the rules. You gotta be natural. You can be wrapped in a burlap sack or something like that, or a pine wood coffin, but you can't have anything like any chemicals in you. Coffin's gotta be made out of natural wood, not pressure treated. And yeah, that's and then of course that was with regular policy. Now COVID-19, it's like, well, now what? I'm 52 years old. I got maybe if I'm lucky, about another 50 years left. Because the women in my family live to be about 100 plus. They don't drink, don't smoke. Okay, so that's a lot of issue right there. You know, um, who's gonna pay? I don't know. Another question. Okay, Jason shopping. I've been nice chatting with y'all. Can see work. No one. Okay. Well, anyway, so guys, the point is there are questions that people need answers to. Um, so I'll talk to you later, Alexa. Let's see if Finlove actually did send me a friend request. It sounds like he wanted to be on the night show. Um, so check that and see if he actually got back to me with a friend request. And let's see, do I have any pending requests? No. Nope. No pending requests. See if he sent me a text message. Case YouTube. This is what Vinlove said to me. He said, or she said, Vinlove says, I'm doing fine. Thought I would ask to reserve a spot on your radio stream. I said, what do you mean? Be on the Discord panel? Did you send me a Discord friend request? You need to do. You need that to be on the panel. So yeah, you gotta. If you want to be on the panel, I'm thinking about creating a whole new panel of my own because of the reasons that things have changed in the show so much. Oh, where's my cursor? Oh, they're really down there. So if you want to be on the panel, you need to send. Start counting like about food beverages. We have 234 pages of sworn affidavits. Donald Trump, you may have 234 pages of sworn affidavits, but how come in the case of the situation with in the state of Nevada, you didn't show the sworn affidavits to the judge as part of your suit? That's kind of, you can say you have all the affidavits you want, but if you're not showing the affidavits to the judge, it ain't gonna make a damn difference how many affidavits you got. So let's see. What the hell did you click on? Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's where we stand right now with different things. Dysfunctional society that is seriously crashing. A country that is more divided than it was during the time of the Civil War, American Civil War. And American people that have basically developed a hatred for each other politically. It's not a very comfortable feeling. But I digress. Maybe I should go back to bed, go back to the same bar I got a drink at, go for another shot. And this time, knowingly know I'm going to be smashed. Hey, that would be better. Yeah, that's just an example of crazy. And let's see, time is 11:09. Wow. All right, so what is the latest stories? Moderna said that they got a new vaccine now. It's 94% effective. Wait. Stop. Now you're getting into the ludicrous territory. I have not seen any vaccine that's even above 70%. Pfizer says 90, and now you're saying 94. You know what I smell? I smell a rat. Because something tells me you can't be 94% effective. Let's get you into some independent studies so we can see how you can be 94% effective, okay? You really want me to believe that? I don't think so. How can that be effective by 94%? You're assuming you're now it sounds like political spin. First, Pfizer says our vaccine is 90% effective, and then Moderna is saying ours is 94 point something. But first of all, how the hell do you know if it's 94% or 9%? How big is your sample size? 10 patients? I wonder why the anti-vaxxers are definitely not going to go for your boogeyman potion. I'm not going to touch it. No, wait. You have to really seriously. I want to see a year's worth of studies. I want to see a year's worth of clinical results before I say I do on anything. If you can show me after a year's time that the stuff is effective, then maybe I might rise up my wrist. But otherwise, no. No. I don't. You're not going to. You can't persuade me that easy. It takes a lot of work to persuade me. If you really think, that you're going to go out there, Moderna. Who the hell are you anyway? Where did you come from? I know what Pfizer was. I knew AstraZeneca is. Who the hell are you? And the thing is, the same thing with Gilead. Who the hell are you? I'm not taking it. Not until I at least see a year's worth of study. Then I can at least see how many people turn out to be forsaken. I want to seriously know how many people are going to become undead. If you end up creating a Savannah Squidward serum that makes people into undead, I'm not touching the crap. This virus already does a number of harm to people as it is. I'm not really sure I'm ready to take a drug that's, I don't know. Weird country. Weird world we live in. Well, I wonder something. Watch yours, guys. I want to try an experiment. You ever looked at the meter on YouTube when you're going with a webcam? You see it's got 1, 2, 6 dots on it, but the highest you ever see is 2, maybe 3. Let's try something. Headphone users, turn your headphones down now. I want to see. Okay, now I can maximize it up a lot. Okay, you can turn your head. You can put your headphones back on now. Yes, it does adjust. Okay. But even then, I couldn't get the peg at 100% modulation. Go figure that out. What's funny is when you go into the Apple menu, and you go in Apple preferences. I talked about this with the Google Hangouts. I'm going to bring it up real quick here. This thing here has automatic slider that automatically adjusts, goes up and down automatically, like a freaking yo-yo. And if you are doing videos on YouTube and you don't know your volume levels adjusting by itself, and you're sitting there with your control board and you're trying to tweak the sound just right, if I can manually go in here, let's see if I can try this. Just an experiment. Headphone users, Please watch your ears. I'm going to turn this up a few notches. All right, so I turn it up to about 75%. See? Just turn it back down again. And now it's trying to calibrate itself to what a really strange piece of software. And yet you try to go into Google settings to change it to tell it, hey, don't do that to my volume levels. Okay. I like to set my levels like round pupil showtime with history grill. Set them and forget them. I don't like to have things keep being dialed up and down like that. Somebody was actually surprised that I can use the trackball. The only thing is, yeah, I can use the trackball. I'm gonna manually adjust it down to 50%. There you go. I said 50%. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna sit there and it's gonna redial the numbers again. See, just turn it up again. Why are you turning it up again? What, wasn't loud enough for you? Have you ever heard how loud this thing gets when you actually let the audio control do its job? And like friggin' blasts. Alright, so my biggest problem with this trackball mouse ball is it gets dirty because of hand oils. So I will occasionally take this trackball and I will just go ahead let's see. Just clean out the monk. Well, on my mouse here. Oh, yeah, that's better. So my fingers skid around on it. And so, like I said, the problem with the system is when the mouse button will actually, the sound level will automatically adjust, thinking that they know what you want, but they don't even think of asking you what your audio level is you chose and why. So, anyway, I'm not going to bore you anymore this morning, but just to tell you is that we know that COVID-19 cases worldwide are out of sight, and we know that in the United States, I'm projecting that today we'll have 200,000 cases in the United States. And one of the reasons I think you're going to have 2,000 cases is because of the protesting and riots. People are not wearing masks. People are not social distancing. And so it's because of the protesters that have been sitting around for about a year that we're going to see the end of everything. Which is a shame. So you can bet the Washington, D.C. Antifa BLM versus Proud Boys protest is going to result in going to have more cases in COVID-19 in Washington, D.C. because they weren't wearing masks and social distancing. It's pretty scary. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. See you. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Real life cataclysm. Yeah. Funny you should mention that. I never actually played Cataclysm, but I do know about Cataclysm. Well, for right now, let's discuss about that. Tomorrow's show to 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll continue on like we do with this show. Try to cover different things, different topics. We have our 7 o'clock show tonight. And we will certainly do a normal pomp and circumstance with phone calls and everything. We'll play some World of Warcraft maybe a little later on in the afternoon today so that you can. Also, I want to point out something about these years, as I said earlier in the show, which I want to bring up some very interesting points. These years are very, very sensitive to vibrations. It's like they're like putting an extended antenna on a radio, for example. I'm just trying to keep the terminology we all understand. They have a lot of gain to them, and they do add auditorial gain too. Because I noticed that they picked up a lot more in the higher frequencies. So the new ears I want to buy from China probably next month. Probably won't get them until January. Those ears are night elf or blood elf size. They're even bigger. And those are going to seriously be much more sensitive to sound vibrations than these are. This is like one of those little dinky radio antennas. Those things are going to be twice the size and increase the sensitivity a lot. So that's something to keep in mind. But for now, everybody, go ahead, enjoy your day. We'll see you. For those World of Warcraft game players, probably will see me in May about, I'm going to say this afternoon. I'm not going to give you a definitive time or day because I got to put my new watch band on my watch. And that's what I'm going to do. So for now, I'll see you guys later tonight at 7 o'clock. That's confirmed. All right? Catch you later. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.